Hello YouTubers, and welcome back to Go Figure Customs YouTube channel. It's time once again for another customs review. This time it's going to be fairly quick because there's not a lot to this custom. It's my Destro custom. I'm using a retro Destro figure that was sent to me by Scott Stacy. So thank you for that. I looked at the figure and thought, man, this is really, it is a top-notch figure. I didn't get the 50th anniversary Destro figure when it came out because the 50th anniversary stuff never showed up here. So when I got it, I thought, man, it really is a nice figure. I immediately got an idea for a custom. I just had the extra parts sitting around and slapped it together, primered it, and painted it. It took a little longer to paint it than I expected, but not anything significant. I did want to also mention that and apologize for people are commenting on my videos, and I can sort of see them on like my homepage when I click the top and it drops down recent comments and then it shows the comments. But if I click on the comment to go to it, it doesn't show that comment. And if I go to the video and it says that there's one comment, but there's nothing below that. So for everybody that's leaving comments and I'm not responding to you, I'm sorry. I've looked at Google. I've tried everything they've suggested, from rebooting to resetting the internet to clearing my cache to creating a different Google account to log into the to my YouTube page, to look at my YouTube page, to using a different browser, to using an incognito window on a different browser. None of that's working. So anybody that's leaving a comment and I'm not getting back to you, I'm sorry about that. I don't know what to do about that. Hopefully it will resolve itself at some point in time. If not, I'm gonna like do a video and respond to everybody's comments or something. I don't know. But you know, tell you what, in the meantime, let's have a look at that Destro custom. I am still trying to figure out how I really want to light this. Unfortunately, the video is really good at picking out all the dog hair on my background, so I'm still trying to figure out how I really want to do this. I would really like to be able to set up a photo studio kind of thing for figure reviews, but I'm not sure. I probably have the room for it. I'm just not sure how I want to do that. So in the meantime, it's going to be like this. So I apologize in advance. But this is my Destro custom. This is the retro Destro figure. I did use the figure stand that I had laying around that just happened to say Destro on it. The only modifications that I made is the custom plate carrier body armor vest. There's a video on this YouTube channel on how to make vests like this. Normally I would make these removable, but I really wanted this to be a quick custom, and I had no intention of, selling it. So I didn't really need the gear to be removable, so it isn't. But it can be with very little effort. And like I said, there's a YouTube video on this channel on how to make vests of this nature. So that is the only thing I added. I just basically, it's just a repaint. So what I did was airbrushed airbrushed a base coat layer on, dry brushed on some gray onto that, and then did a wash over that. And then I did a layer. So there's a wash and then dry brushing and then some more wash on top of that. The vest I tried to do in a different black than his like bodysuit and pants, and different from his boots. So I used more of a gloss black for his boots, a darker like regular black from Games Workshop for his body armor, and then sea blue for, which is kind of I'll call it off black. You know, I always bitch about painting with white, orange, and yellow, but another color that can be hard to work with, believe it or not, is black. Because, you know, there's, to just paint this thing one solid color of black would be kind of boring for me. I could do it. It would be done in about an hour, if that, especially with an airbrush. And then there's no depth to it. So to really get that depth, I've got to use different shades of black. So it's like using green or tan or any of the other colors that I use on a regular basis. I've got several different shades of black. They're just different, well, different shades. So that's kind of a bit of a complexity to it, I suppose, to make it look a bit different, to make it stand out a little bit. For the metal, I did airbrushed a Tamiya flat aluminum, and then did a wash with the Games Workshop. The shoulder armor is also added on. These are from Iron Man 2 figure. I just had these laying around. I have a huge bag of just Iron Man parts that I have left over from customs that I've made from years ago. They're just glued on. They don't hamper the articulation in any way. I think if I dremeled out the inside of them and then just glued them on. I think if I was going to do this like for a custom, I'd have dremeled holes into his bicep to where the armor would sit and would hinge. But like I said, I wanted this to be a fairly quick custom. I've got the stuff I'm working on. I just kind of wanted this just sparked one night, but I wanted it done pretty quickly because like I said, I got other stuff I want to do, and I'm just doing this pretty much just for a display piece. I've already got the front half of his card designed. I'm gonna do his back half when I'm done. For weapons, since he has shotgun shells sculpted into his body armor, I gave him this shotgun. I don't remember it. I know it's G.I. Joe, but I don't remember who it's from. I didn't have any shotgun shells to use. Marauder makes some nice ones, but I'm all out, and they're closed for Joe Fest. So like I said, I didn't really want to wait for parts because I've got other stuff I'm working on. So what I did is I took an ammo belt that I had laying around. I trimmed it down and then painted it to look like shotgun shells. From a distance, I think it looks pretty good. You can't really tell that it's not a rack of shotgun shells. And then for his primary weapon, I used the Marauder AKM, I think it is. It's just one of the Marauder AK variants with the tactical light and the sight and then the magazine. And I've glued the parts on so they don't come off. And then he has a removable knife, which is painted up, and then a removable pistol in his holster. The holster is on a Marauder Task Force belt. I've added a couple Marauder pouches on the back. I did Dremel off the holster that was on his left side, sanded it down, and then got this to fit flush. So I guess I did do a little bit more than just straight repaint on this. It just feels fairly simple to me because I didn't do a lot compared to like my last custom, which was my female range viper or female jungle viper, which was very involved in a lot of different pieces. So let me give him his gun here, and then of course I sealed it with the Testors sealant that I use. which gives it a fairly nice, like semi-gloss, semi-matte finish, which I really like. I used to like my stuff really matte, but I'm really, really digging the finish that the Testors gives it. So there you go. Like I said, it's not too complex, but I wanted a more like tactical version of Destro, something that looks like he's out in the field with the troops fighting. Get his knife in there. There we go. There, all geared up. I had contemplated giving him like a backpack, or repainting the weapon case that he came with, because he had that nice, that kind of cool backpack with the version 1 figure. But I kind of want to save that piece for another figure. Excuse me, for another custom. And if I was going to do something for this one, I would want it to be a backpack to make it more version 1-ish. And if I was going to do that, I would have put a rare earth magnet in his back, and then put one in his backpack. But I thought about it after I'd already put the vest on, and I really don't have anything that I wanted to use for a backpack for this anyway. So that's where we ended up on this one. Like I said, it was just something that sparked an idea that sparked one night. So it's not too complex compared to some of my other customs, but I'm happy with how it turned out. And here's how he looks on the card. I'm really happy with how this custom came out, and it looks great on the vintage card. I have designed my own card backs and was going to put all my G.I. Joe customs on my own specifically designed card backs, but there's just something about having the vintage art with the updated figure for me that's like, this is what the idea was, and this is what I came up with. Especially figures that weren't that good to begin with, like Scoop. Some of the other, can't think of any off the top of my head, obviously, but Scoop is one of the ones I've done recently that I reimagined. I didn't have a problem with Destro as a figure. As a kid, I really liked him. I loved the grenades. I loved the wrist rockets. I incorporated all of that into the figure, as you've seen earlier. But I just like having the vintage art and then what I've created. So it's what inspired and what I came up with. That's why I do this. I've had one person comment on I think it was my female rock viper, to say that the figure looks nothing like the card art. Yeah, that's kind of the point. So as always, I do put on what accessories and weapons he comes with on the side, just like the vintage figures did. Figures had the file cards, the original file card from the very first Destro figure, and then the little Easter egg is the first figure in the list is the figure that's on the card. And if you go through all of them, they are all unique figures. A couple of times, I think I've caught the fact that I've had the same figure on here twice, and I scrapped those cards and redid them in Photoshop and reprinted them and reassembled them. That's the level of detail I put into my customs, even though this will go on a wall in about 2 minutes after I finish doing this video, and no one will ever see it again unless they watch this YouTube video. But to me, I like to make my customs as authentic as I possibly can. And I think, they're not perfect, obviously, but we're getting there. I really like how it came out. So I think that's about all I've got for you this time. So please do that fun social media stuff. Like, share, subscribe, comment below. And as always, thank you for watching.